get some groceries. Like walking is at this point the only thing I'm doing for pregnancy fitness because of my condition. I just want to be safe. So yeah, I got a bunch of like snacky foods that I've been craving, and some peonies, some little baguettes, some really good cheese. So it's like the first really, really hot day. I just sent TJ to go pick up a Facebook Marketplace bookshelf for Brooks's room that we're going to paint. And his room is getting a little unorganized. So a bookshelf is needed. It's like 2 minutes away, which is nice. So we're gonna paint, or after when he gets back, we're gonna go to the paint store. We're gonna figure out what color to paint it. Thinking maybe some stripes. Our Nursery wallpaper just arrived also, so I'm gonna take a little sample of that to the paint store and see if I can find like a good complementary pink. This is the top half, and then there's the bottom half in there. I think it's very, very tiny in person, but I think once it's painted, it will be like the perfect little kids' room bookshelf. All right, we're off to find some paint colors. This is what I'm using for the nursery. So we are painting this a fresh coat of like a creamy white.
I helped you.
Yeah, you are. And then I'm gonna put painter's tape all over it to paint stripes in like a green color that matches the wallpaper. I think it'll turn out okay. I'm so out of breath though, and Brooks is helping. So, good job, Brooksy.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
I paint all night.
Paint all night?
Mom?
We'll see how this turns out.
Mommy?
Yes?
How am I helping?
You are helping.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Good job, bud.
Alright, so while I let that white paint dry because I have to let it dry before I can put the tape all over it to make the stripes, the green stripes, I'm gonna open up this Nursery wallpaper that arrived. This is a mural and it's huge. There's a lot happening here. 29 weeks pregnant today, exactly. So we're almost in the 30s. I think in my last video, I told you that I had complete placenta previa. It's where your placenta is like blocking your cervix. So you can't have it you have to have a C-section basically in that case. And my doctor does not think that's gonna go away. He also now thinks I have placenta accreta, which is kind of rare. If you don't know what that is, it's where your placenta is attaching to a former scar of some sort in your uterus. So I did have a previous C-section, so it is they think it's attaching to the C-section scar, and the detachment can be very dangerous in terms of blood loss for me. In that case, to be safest, they want to schedule your surgery for 34 to 36 weeks. My doctor a couple days ago said 35 weeks is his, what he would like to do. I would prefer 36. Really, I would prefer 37, but I want to do it safest because it can be scary. And in the end, the goal is just I want to be healthy and I want the baby to be healthy. And right now the baby is totally healthy. It's just my placenta the doctor called my placenta adventuresome. So this is a mural, and I don't know if you're gonna really be able to see it in this because it's huge. So I don't know if you could really tell, but it's a lot of beautiful floral vines that are kind of like up close. It looks like fabric. Okay. Can you see that? Oh, the lighting is kind of dark in here today because it's raining. Oh yes, that is so beautiful. So this is going to be a giant mural And then, so yesterday I was at the paint store trying to find like a complimentary pink color for the trim and the ceiling. And I kind of want to add stripes to the ceiling if I can. But that's what we're going to do for the nursery walls. That's also a little health update. It's so rare that I feel like when I talk about it, like most people like don't know what it, can't really relate because they didn't have it. But I did join like a Facebook group, which has given me a lot of insight into different people's experiences. But one thing that I have been doing for peace of mind, because pregnancy can just cause so many anxieties, like worries about so many different details. One thing I have been doing is taking my prenatal vitamins, and I have been taking Ritual vitamins for years, since I think I started first taking them before I was pregnant with Brooks, and it's just something that I can do that kind of ensures that I am getting the adequate nutrients. I like Ritual because every single ingredient they have or nutrient in this is traceable. You can tell exactly where it's coming from. I have taken their postnatal vitamins, their prenatal vitamins. These are the only prenatal that I've been able to stay consistent with because they don't make me feel bad. And they're third-party tested for heavy metals and microbes. They also have like a regular multivitamin, but I like them because you can choose mint or citrus. Compared to some vitamins, these are easy to go down. These are easy on the stomach. You can take them with or without food. So I'm happy to partner with them on this video. And for 25% off your first order of Ritual, you can go to ritual.com/prettyinthepines, or you can scan this QR code that is on the screen. And anything I can do to have like added peace of mind is so important, because if you're pregnant, or if you've been pregnant before, you know there's so many things, little things that you can worry about. So I'm gonna go take my vitamins, but I am gonna leave a link if you are in need of any sort of vitamins, multivitamins, prenatal, postnatal. I'll leave a link in my description. Thank you to Ritual for partnering with me on this video. So this bench that we built is Tooney's new favorite spot in the whole house. She just lays here all day long. We're adding the tape for the stripes. I've never done this before, so I really hope this turns out okay. It seems kind of self-explanatory, but just making sure each one, and I'll have to do some touch-ups. So in between each tape, I'm putting a piece of tape, and then I'm ripping that tape up when it's down to just help with spacing. And then I also have a laser level. I'm not really striving for perfection here. I mean, this was like something you can fix, you know? Anything with paint, you can fix. It's time to paint the stripes. So the goal is to paint this all right now and then peel it off in an hour or two. Before this, I have this that cul-de-sac party. The goal is to peel it off before that. It's gonna need some coats, multiple coats. I think I'm gonna try doing it all at once. Pretty cool.
That was a cool reveal.
Up close, it's definitely leaking a bit, like it leaked under the tape a bit, but it still looks cool from a distance.
I think it's kind of rustic.
Yeah. right, I'm not sure where I left off, but we did some touch-ups on these stripes and we made the bed. This corner's looking pretty cute. So I feel like that's the perfect size and the perfect piece for that corner. And I love it. Added some books, some toys, some just like little favorite items. And haven't even touched the bottom storage, but that'll be so nice. But definitely needed some touch-ups, and I could literally just sit there for hours and hours making even more touch-ups, but overall I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Welcome to the little garden that we built a couple months ago, actually. And I think I filmed some behind the scenes of building it, but it is like my favorite place to be. We just yesterday added a brick border. We found these bricks on Facebook Marketplace and I love how it's coming along. Welcome to our soon to be little garden here. We did 2. We're about to do this last one and I'm going to show you how we are preparing it. First thing we're going to put down is this chicken wire, and we are going to kind of block all these gaps with it at the bottom so that little creatures don't get in there. And then we're going to put a weed barrier so that we really don't get anything coming up. So we also have some little stepping stones that are going to go here and then kind of like all around, and then we'll fill it with, hopefully, I'm thinking pea gravel. I'm gonna plant some things in those planters. These are the stepping stones that we just picked up at Lowe's. We're gonna kind of make a path going into this garden, around. We put some stone benches around this tree. We're gonna plant hydrangeas all behind there to kind of be a barrier. There's a creek back there, so it'll be kind of like a barrier between that. We have some hydrangeas over here for a little hydrangea cut flower garden. Some Shasta daisies, and a few things. I'll do a whole tour of everything when it's all planted. And a ton of seeds in that one, which it looks like there's nothing, but lots of seeds. I'm back in our soon-to-be garden. The next step is kind of adding the gravel, the stone, this landscape barrier, and we're going to, so it won't be so dirty and muddy in the middle. And it just rained for like a long time, so it is very, very muddy. We're going to add a border right here. And my doctor told me I'm not allowed to pick up heavy things, so TJ is helping me significantly with this project because I really just want to have a garden. If you're wondering why I planted it under a tree, because obviously like shade is concerned, I'm planting a lot of things that could do well in partial shade. So our yard is not the largest, but we have sunlight, but I wanted to have some space for Brooks to like run around and not put the garden right in the middle of our yard. So yeah, that's how I landed on this side of the yard, and I think it'll work well. I mean, I've already seen growth from what I did plant, and I'll show you what I did plant. So this gets the most sun out of all 4. That one probably is the shadiest, and then it's just kind of a mixture. So, but this one gets the most sun. So I did plant some blueberry bushes here. And then rosemary, basil, cucumbers are like my wishful thinking plant that I planted. And I mean, I've already seen some growth, so we'll see what happens and then I'll learn. A stilby, how do you say that? A stilby does well in partial sun, partial shade. And then over here we have some hydrangeas that are going to be like a cut flower hydrangea garden. Some Shasta daisies that another kind of wishful thinking, might do well, might not thrive, but we'll see. And then, so this is kind of what the whole thing is going to look like. a lot of stones, a lot of pebbles. We're adding this landscape barrier, and I'm gonna plant these today. We have some petunias and some geraniums over there. And then some more, this is a Virginia bluebell, which hopefully will thrive in the shade. And then I planted a whole lot of different flowers in these. There's already a lot of sprouts popping through, but here I have some space to work with. So I have this whole section to plant things, and I do have some plants here that prefer full sun, but they're kind of thriving. They've sat here for like a week and they're kind of growing. This is squash, so I might just plant some and see what happens. And there will be a border of either cobblestone or bricks surrounding this whole garden, and I think it'll just be really peaceful. Added 3 benches, rounded benches around the tree to kind of just make it, put a little sitting area there. That's where we are. So today we are adding this barrier, adding these stones, adding the pebbles, and we'll see how far we get. But I think he's using some extra sand that we have to kind of level out some areas. These are the planters that I'm going to put on each corner of this garden. Oh wow, that's a giant hole in it. You know, sometimes you get what you pay for, and these were very inexpensive. So the pea gravel, before rinsing it, looks like this, which is very dirty. There's a lot of like clay on there and dirt. So this is what it looks like after you rinse it, after it rains. It looks a lot whiter and cleaner. So just wanted to let you know, in case you're looking at Lowe's for pea gravel and you're like, I don't like that color, but I want that color. They're the exact same, and I'll show you after we rinse it all off. And then on this side, we are kind of leveling out the ground with gravel underneath the stones, whereas up here, it didn't really need gravel underneath, so we embedded the stones with gravel surrounding it instead. But there's like a slight little slope in the yard here, so this side is going to be taken care of it slightly differently. Time to rinse off. We did run out of supplies, so we'll have to get some more. Hopefully this will help prevent so much dirt from being sprayed up on these beds. Those are the latest garden updates, nursery updates. There have not really been too many other than getting the wallpaper. But realistically, you don't really use a nursery for like at least 4 or so months until after the baby's born. So it's not really a necessity, but I have been trying to focus on getting ready as much as I can for like going to the hospital. So I just finished packing partial hospital bag because hopefully mine will be planned and I won't spontaneously have an emergency or anything. Packing a hospital bag the second time around is so different than the first time because you really realize that like the hospital gives you everything you need, like everything, almost everything they definitely give you everything you need, but I do want to be prepared with like contact lenses and glasses and toiletries and some like pajamas like this that are comfy, and sometimes you just want like some shower shoes and socks, just cozy things to like make you feel a little more like you're home. So I just kind of treated myself to a bunch of little things that like a pillow eye mask. I do have one of these C-section kits, but again, the doctors give you like, the hospitals give you everything you need for that type of stuff. So I have never been this early with packing, but again, just trying to reduce any extra worries or just anything possible that can be done now. I'm trying to get that done, but I appreciate you being here and subscribing, and I can't wait to show and get working on the nursery and just enjoy summer. I think I have probably around 6 weeks left, hopefully, before we bring a newborn home, and definitely in that nesting mood. There's little projects I just wanted to take care of, the garden being one of them. Yeah, so thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.